Yeah, and as you're talking, and I'm thinking about the limitless opportunities that are around. So I am fascinated by AI. I've been editing and curating AI writing for about 2 years and exploring how it fits together.
Cool.
I'm really, really interested in well, you know, the robots aren't coming to get your jobs because your boss is going to give it to them. That's nobody's having that discussion, but we'll leave that to one side. But I am truly fascinated by how concepts like VR and the metaverse can help not just children, but help us all to start to explore, you know, kind of at the edges and start to play with different concepts and different energies. And, you know, talk about public speaking, and, you know, you can almost set up an environment where people are encouraged to face those challenges.
Interesting.
But I
haven't really thought about it that way. This is fascinating.
Oh, well, I wonder if it goes far enough, though. I wonder if, and you might be able to answer this from the work that you've done, but I wonder if you're able to pick up these roles and play with them, whether you are able to hold yourself long enough to feel the pain and to feel the fear and to go to some of those lower notes in order to truly transform. You know, there's a joke that goes around on Instagram, and, you know, kind of on Instagram, I'm a swimsuit model on Instagram because I got paid to be an influencer on a swimsuit brand. It just terrified the hell out of me. But there's also jokes. I'm a professional footballer because I play FIFA, and so kind of with technology, we're able to, you know, just try this out. I've got a side hustle that makes me, you know, good enough to take on Lord Sugar, or, you know, it's just, I can be who I want to be, which is so cool and so empowering. But I wonder if it keeps us here instead of really forcing us to connect into, you know, our soul's journey, that pain that you felt, you know, kind of that really drove you forward.
I just want to make sure I'm clear. So the question you said that keeps us here versus deeper are you saying here is technology? Is that the here?
Here's technology, and also, you know, kind of where personality and identity is so fluid now that kind of, especially younger generations, are so accepting of whoever you can be. You kind of don't go through examining your beliefs or your limitations necessarily, because there will be a tribe that loves and accepts you. But there's something in the grit, there's something in the challenge, there's something in the questioning that I just wonder whether the transformation can come at this level, or if you have to go beyond the technology and play some of those darker notes in order to really be able to transform.
I think the short answer is you absolutely need to go deeper. I think it's we've got to really feel the heal and processes to get us to that. You know, that's where plant medicine just pierces through your ego or your personality. So I'm hearing a couple different, you know, there's gender fluidity and that personality acceptance thing you mentioned, which is interesting. There's sort of two parallel things. And then there's the ego, the personality, the identity. It's like, it's really fascinating. You know, for me, and maybe not everybody has to go through this level of intensity or pain or trauma to get to the point where they can get access to the deeper wounds or the deeper grooves. But I haven't experienced that personally. I've found that I need to, excuse me, be in an environment. You know, for example, the Hoffman Institute is one. I've produced over 200 live events, spoken well over 300, but attended probably 150 seminars, workshops, conferences, plant medicine ceremonies, you know, and the ones that really ferret out and get to the deep core stuff were always the most challenging, and they take a lot of work. You think you're getting there, and then all of a sudden you're pushed up against the really deep core stuff. And it's a couple layers underneath that even still before you get to the really core sort of stuff. So I don't know that VR could get you there, and maybe it could.
Who knows? I'll give them a few more years. We'll work it out.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they created a workshop that was, I think it all starts with mommy and daddy. As much as we want to blame ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, ex-girlfriend, whatever it is, former business partner, coworker, person driving on the street, it's always mommy, daddy. So how can we get to the core of where that imprinting happened, consciously or unconsciously, as a child? And that's really what the Hoffman process is all about. Yeah, that family constellation work, I think, is really the deepest. Like you were saying, grandma, mama, grandma. Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, and kind of in so many ways, I can talk from my own experience that kind of through my own pain, I started to explore the identity of my parents and their blocks, and my grandparents and their blocks, and how all of that had layered into my world, that I was a high achiever who nearly worked myself to death.
Yeah.
Actually, but kind of as you're going through life, you don't notice the patterns, you don't notice the kind of unraveling at the edges, or the corrosive nature of that necessarily, because you're merrily along that path. So
we're distracting ourselves, like we talked about earlier, just in full distraction mode, and trying to create some sense of self-love and self-esteem through external ways, whatever it is, degrees. I've been all over media. I mean, there is some element of cool, I've got all this media on my resume and bio, or for some it's degrees and letters after their name, or whatever it is, right? Or title. But again, that's all the identity surface level stuff. That's all bullshit in the end. It's all nonsense, right? But we identify it, and in the 3D world, it works for us. It helps us at some level, but at our core sort of spiritual essence level, that's not who we are. That's not what we're seeking to set free. That's it's just another form of distraction.
For sure.